An engine sabotaged with sugar. In this episode, we're tearing down a CFMOTO 800 metric tons engine. We'll start with the bottom end this time, because someone added something to this engine. I suspect it might be salt. Let me have a taste. Is it sugar or salt? Oh my God. Taking this apart is a good chance to verify something. Whether the 800 metric tons CFMOTO gave me last time was a special press version. Alright, I see sugar in here too. Since some people raised doubts, I'll use real action to dispel those doubts. The slipper clutch is just like the one I tore down before. It has the same hard-anodized finish. The inner hub shows no wear. It's reusable. This is our first survivor. Let's check the clutch plates. The plates look okay visually, but they are bone dry. There's no oil on them at all. Take a look, everyone. The entire inner clutch hub assembly is still usable. Now let's look at the clutch basket. The basket is also fine and reusable. It's exactly the same as the 800 metric tons I stripped last time. It's the dual compound type with the hard anodized process. The owner said this bike only has 10,000 kilometers on it. After the sugar was added, it ran for 20 kilometers. The sound became very strange, and there was a severe loss of power. When he went to the shop and opened the oil filter, it was covered in sugar. That's how the owner determined it was sabotaged. The cylinder head cover is off. It looks brand new inside. After all, it's only a 10,000 kilometers engine. As you know, sugar doesn't dissolve in engine oil. So when sugar is added to an engine, it only melts once things get hot. That's when it can pass through the filter and enter the oil passages. Look at this camshaft cap. It's already showing signs of wear, but it's not too severe yet. Let's check the camshaft. Yes, it's the alloy steel camshaft. Exactly the same as my previous teardown video. The lobes have some wear, but it's not as catastrophic as I expected. Check the intake cam. Also some slight wear. It's not as bad as you might imagine, right? The rocker arms show no wear either. This sugar trick is truly wicked. It's designed to make you break down mid-journey, because sugar takes time to melt. It melts slowly as the oil heats up, and then gradually enters the oil system. Hey, the starter motor still works. But looking at the camshafts and the state of the head, it means the sugar-tainted oil definitely reached here. No sugar was found inside the stator cover. The design of this engine actually has an advantage. 2 coarse filters and 1 fine filter. Plus, it basically has a dry sump style design. It has a separate oil storage area, which helped isolate the sugar in the pan. Wait, I found some bronze shavings here. These 2 design features acted as a barrier against the sugar in the overall oil circulation. In a conventional wet sump, it would have been much worse. The main bearings look fine. Balance shaft bearings are also okay. No issues there. More bronze shavings found here. Let's check the bearings. They're SKF, consistent with the previous teardown. This one uses NSK from Japan. The last one used NTN from Japan. No real difference there. Check the balancer shaft. No problems. No scoring. Look, this connecting rod is seized. I guess this is a case of sacrificing the tail to save the body. It's lucky it seized early. Otherwise, if more melted sugar had reached the oil passages, the consequences would be unthinkable. The rod on this side was also on its way to seizing. But it didn't fail completely. Check the bearing shells. Dato Japan, no issues there. Matches the previous teardown video. Now look at the severe one. The bearing shell is fused to the crankshaft. Look at this rod. It's toast. Look at the crank. It's become a caramelized crankshaft. I've had caramelized sunflower seeds before. But should I give this caramelized crank a lick for you guys? This bearing shell is in terrible shape. It literally welded itself to the crank in the middle. I couldn't pry it off no matter what. Let me zoom in for a closer look. The sugar really did its job. It just won't budge. It reminds me of friction welding. This must be the result. Don't ever do this to someone, guys. As for the owner, he's already replaced it with a new engine. Total cost was nearly 30,000 renminbi. And he won the lawsuit. You can imagine the legal consequences for the culprit. The owner donated this engine for a teardown. Just to share the knowledge. Let's see if we can extract any more value from it. Just a reminder of how serious this is. 30,000 renminbi in property damage. Think about that. And this could even escalate to a personal safety issue. I can't get the bearing off, so let's leave it at that. The crank is an alloy steel forged unit. No doubt about that. Same as the previous teardown. In a way, it's good the crank failed early. Otherwise, the damage would have spread further. Check the piston. The piston is still usable. There are some marks, but nothing that prevents use. Here is the caramelized crank and rod. Now let's check the right cylinder piston. Also usable, no problem. The connecting rods are the cracked cap type. This is also fine. This is an early batch 800 metric tons. The pistons are identical to the KTM 790. The newer ones have different pistons, but they are also forged, so no downgrades there. The timing chain is a did. Matches up. Now look at the cylinder block. Lucky it's a nickel-plated cylinder. It's starting to show marks, but no actual damage. Alright, teardown complete. Thanks for watching. And seriously, don't do anything illegal.